Today, I don't really have a lunch plan. Sometimes I have lots of ingredients in my kitchen, but I'm just not quite sure how they'll go together. So what I'm gonna do is grab ingredients that complement each other. Anything with tomatoes and cheese on top of a sourdough pizza crust, I just already know that's going to be delicious. So join me as I whip up this quick 30-minute lunch recipe. Alright, today I'm using my sourdough pizza crust to make a delicious pizza. We are going to use fennel, chard, and garlic scapes in this creamy chicken sourdough pizza. I'll start by preheating 2 cast irons in a 450-degree oven. And I'm going to pull my leftover chicken out here from the night before when we made roasted chicken. It still has all the potatoes and everything, but I'm just going to use the chicken for this recipe. It's nice that it's already cooked, and so that it can go right on the pizza. Sourdough pizza is one of my favorites to cook in 30 minutes because it's 20 minutes of bake time and then that gives you 10 minutes of prep time. And 10 minutes is enough time to chop up vegetables and shred some cheese, so you can definitely whip this up in 30 minutes. Now, if you don't know what this is the top of the garlic plant before it is harvested, and it is completely edible. Also going to cut up a little bit of fennel here. We don't normally cook with fennel, so this will be a very nice treat for my husband and I. So I did about 4 stalks of fennel. Other good vegetables for pizza are kale and spinach. Now, chard and kale both should be on the pizza before it goes in the oven because they are such tough vegetables that you can cook them down a little bit. But if you're using something like spinach or butter lettuce, you want to wait and put that on after the pizza's out of the oven. Of course, you could do it either way, but that way they won't be super wilted. And of course, we're going to shred lots of cheese. I'm going to go ahead and roll out my pizza dough. 2 pizzas. This dough was previously frozen, so you can freeze dough. Sometimes I'll make a dough thinking I'm going to make a meal out of it that day, but then our plans change and I don't. So you don't want to waste it, so I just throw it in the freezer. Now normally I prepare a round pizza crust with a stand-up crust that I kind of fold over when I put it in the cast iron, but today I'm going to just roll it out into a flatbread. I'm just trying this out to do something different. Okay, meanwhile I'm going to start the sauce in my saucepan by adding about a 1/4 stick of butter. So to the saucepan I added butter, salt, pepper, the garlic scapes, and tomatoes. I sauteed for about 5 minutes, then I added cream and leftover chicken and just combined it. Okay, to that you're going to add some fresh cream. Luckily, I just picked this cream up. It's low pasteurized from a local farm, so we like to try to buy low pasteurized because it will have a little more of that beneficial bacteria that you lose in the pasteurization process. Although raw is always best. So I'm going to do some fresh cracked salt and pepper to taste. You have all seen me make pizza on this channel a million times, so I'm not going to go through all the details, but if you don't know how to make sourdough pizza, I will leave a link below to the blog post, and there's also a bunch of videos on it. The only difference I'm making here is, of course, the creamy chicken sauce, and I'm making it more of a flatbread instead of the regular crust, but it's the same recipe. It's just a matter of rolling the dough out into a square and not forming the crust like you normally would. Once the crust is done, layer the chard and then the cheese and then the chicken sauce mixture. This is just so that the juices from the chicken sauce mixture don't go straight into the crust. Here I'm doing the chicken first. It ends up being great either way. But for the flatbread, if you are doing a flatbread, the juices will kind of spill off. So it's helpful to have more for the juices to absorb into. And I'm going to top this with a few farm fresh eggs. If you want to do this, crack the egg directly on the pizza and return it to the oven for the final 3 to 4 minutes of baking. Another option, if you have enough cast iron pans, is to fry the egg in the cast iron and then use a spatula to just place it on top of the pizza. This just depends on how you like your fried egg. Also, it depends on how well you trust the farm that the egg came from. Personally, I know this farm that we bought the eggs from, and we know the chickens, and so I'm okay if this is kind of an over easy egg, or if the eggs came from our own chickens in our backyard, I'd be okay with that. But if you're not sure, you might want to cook the egg fully. Well, I hope you enjoyed this quick summer lunch idea. Well, if you're brand new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Every week I post a new video on farm-to-table recipes and homemade natural living. I passionately share how to live a natural lifestyle and cook from scratch meals that are farm-to-table. Thank you so much for stopping by at the Duvall Homestead.